Mom comes to my room. She opens the door with the same sadness she's been carrying for days. Seems to get worse with every passing hour. She sits beside me on my bed and says, "The recital is tomorrow, isn't it?" "It was," I say. "You must be pretty upset." She looks over at my desk. "You put away all those books." I nod. "No point in having them out if I'm not learning to play." "So you really did use them to practice?" "Yeah, I had a book of newspaper for each drum." She smiles for the first time in days. "Did it work well?" I don't know if it's because I'm talking about drums or because my mom sounds happy, but my voice brightens. It wasn't the real thing, but it was good enough. Helped me feel like a real drummer. She looks closely at me, and I don't return her gaze. It's still too uncomfortable. "Do you understand why your dad made this decision?" she asks. "Didn't you both make it?" I ask back. She hesitates before answering. "Yes, I suppose we did." I look over at my empty desk. "You and Dad don't need to fight over it, you know. What's done is done." My mom looks shocked. "We're fighting about a lot more than that, Sam." I don't respond. I can't pretend it's not a little my fault. My mom says, "Your dad is out with a friend, and I need to go to the store. I should be back and have dinner ready in about an hour or so." She stands and walks out of my room, shutting the door behind her. I wonder if she actually has to go shopping or if she just needs to get away for a while. I think of the way my mom smiled when I told her about my desk set. I rise from my bed, walk over to my dresser, and open my top drawer. I take out the lawn mowing money and close my eyes as tight as possible. I finally kiss the dream of owning my own drum set goodbye and decide to spend the money on something else. I have at least an hour until my mom gets home from the store. That should be plenty of time. I wait until Brian is in the basement and my mom is left, and I quietly sneak out the door. I'm risking getting into way more trouble leaving the house, but I have to believe my family will understand my reasons when they find out. My destination is near the bridge over the Eisenhower Expressway, so it only takes 20 minutes to get what I need. When I arrive back home with a small white bag, my mom is still gone, and Brian is still in the basement, unaware that I ever left. I open the bag and pull out a tiny box that I place on the kitchen counter, where my mom puts her keys when she gets home. She'll be sure to see it. I dash upstairs to my room, shut the door, and wait. My windows are open, so I hear my mom pulling up outside when she returns. Her keys are jingling as she exits the car and walks toward the house. The front door opens and footsteps head inside. I walk into the kitchen, but instead of the familiar clang of keys hitting the counter, I hear the dropping of grocery bags, followed by nothing at all. A very, very long nothing. Footsteps run up the stairs, and my door swings open to my mom staring at me with a heartbroken expression. Her tiny box is in her hand, flipped open to a small wedding band. "Sam," she says, tears filling her eyes, "did you buy this?" I nod. "I went to Silver Lake Jewelers while you were out." I expect her to scold me for leaving the house while grounded, but instead she asks, "Why?" "I wanted to help," I say. The ring is shining under the hallway light. I'd considered pretending it was the real one, but I didn't want to lie anymore. Her eyes look at the box and then back at me. "How did you pay for this?" I tell her about the extra money from mowing lawns and saving whatever was left after paying Pete. Her eyes fill with awe. "How many lawns did you mow each week?" Her jaw drops as I tell her about Lawn Hut, the old lady who only paid $3, my strategies for mowing each lawn as efficiently as possible. I catch myself smiling halfway through, and my mom smiles back. "You did all that work just for drum lessons," she says. "You were saving every extra dollar to buy your own set." "It wasn't that much," I say. "I only had enough for a cheap knockoff ring. I couldn't replace the real thing." She sets the box on my dresser and sits next to me on my bed, taking my hands in hers. "It's just a ring, Sam. It's not important. But that money," she shakes her head. "We had special plans for it. I wanted to help you and Dad. We're not fighting because of a ring." My hands shake. "I know that. You're fighting because of me." She pulls me close and I bury my face in her arms. My shoulders quiver in her grip. "I just wanted to help," I say. "It's not your job to help us," she says. "It's our job to help you." My mom sighs as we pull away from each other. Our eyes meet and something happens when we're caught in mid-gaze. Her expression is a puzzle, and the last few pieces pushed in place. Her eyebrows soften, and her mouth becomes a half crescent as it gently smiles. I know before she has spoken that something has changed. She pushes the hair out of my face and says, "We're returning the ring and getting back the money you earned." "Why?" I ask. She stands up and grabs a tiny box off the dresser. "Because I'm calling Pete. They're going to the recital tomorrow."